What if the real reason your legs feel weaker after 50 isn't aging at all? That may sound surprising because most people expect some loss of strength as they get older. But doctors often notice something different. Many adults start losing confidence in their legs long before they lose significant muscle strength. And that can become a serious problem because when confidence drops, activity often drops too. Maybe you've noticed that climbing stairs feels harder than before. Perhaps getting out of a chair takes more effort, or you find yourself reaching for handrails more often. Some people even begin avoiding certain activities because their legs no longer feel as reliable as they once did. At first, these changes seem small and easy to blame on age. However, physical therapists frequently observe that these early warning signs can appear years before major mobility problems develop. There may also be a hidden factor behind this decline that most people never consider. Many adults over 50 have been told that stronger legs require more movement, more workouts, and more effort. But what if one of the most effective ways to activate important leg muscles involved very little movement at all? Research suggests that muscles respond not only to movement, but also to tension. In simple terms, a muscle can work hard even when a joint barely moves. This is especially important for people dealing with stiff knees, aching hips, balance concerns, or a fear of falling. The biggest frustration isn't usually weakness itself. It's what weakness takes away. Strong legs help you get out of bed, climb stairs, carry groceries, travel, and enjoy time with family. When your legs don't feel dependable, everyday life becomes more challenging and confidence begins to fade. Many adults quietly worry about losing their independence. They wonder if they'll become more dependent on others or if their mobility will continue to decline. Doctors hear these concerns often because most people don't want stronger legs for appearance. They want the freedom to keep living life on their own terms. Another common misunderstanding is that leg weakness only begins when muscles shrink. Health experts have observed that muscles can become less active and less responsive long before obvious weakness appears. Some muscles gradually stop doing their share of the work, forcing other muscles to compensate. For a while, everything seems normal, but eventually standing becomes harder, walking feels slower, and balance becomes less reliable. Margaret, a 72-year-old grandmother, experienced this herself. She loved taking her grandchildren to the park, but over time she noticed that walking from the parking lot felt longer and standing became more tiring. What bothered her most wasn't the fatigue, it was the feeling that she was losing confidence in her abilities. You may have experienced something similar. Not severe weakness, but the feeling that your legs simply don't respond the way they used to. Research suggests this is very common after 50, yet many people ignore it because they assume nothing can be done. The problem is that many traditional exercise programs feel difficult or unrealistic. Some require too much balance, while others put stress on sore knees or hips. As a result, many people become less active, and that creates a cycle where muscles become less engaged. Daily tasks become harder, and confidence continues to decline. There's also one everyday habit that quietly speeds up this process. And most people don't realize it's affecting their leg strength. We'll talk about that shortly. Before we do, it's important to understand that not all leg muscles play the same role. Some muscles are especially important for standing, climbing stairs, maintaining balance, and preventing falls. When these muscles become inactive, people may feel unstable even if they're still walking regularly. That's why mobility specialists have become increasingly interested in a unique type of exercise that can strengthen important muscles without requiring constant movement. For many adults over 50, this approach may completely change the way they think about leg strength, balance, and independence. One of the biggest mistakes people make after 50 is thinking leg weakness happens suddenly. In reality, it develops slowly through less movement, more sitting, and avoiding activities that feel uncomfortable. At first, these changes seem harmless. But over time, they affect the muscles that help you stand, walk, climb stairs, and stay balanced. You may feel less stable getting out of a chair, become tired more quickly, or start using stairs more carefully. This can be frustrating. Many people begin doubting their abilities and avoid activities they once enjoyed because they no longer trust their legs. Doctors often see these signs long before serious weakness develops. Research suggests that inactivity is one of the biggest causes of declining leg function. It doesn't mean doing nothing at all, it simply means certain muscles are not being used enough. Physical therapists often notice that long hours of sitting reduce the activity of important muscles in the hips and legs. These muscles don't disappear, but they stop working as effectively. As a result, other muscles must work harder, making everyday tasks feel more difficult. Walking may become slower, balance may feel less reliable, and confidence can start to fade. Once confidence drops, people often move less, creating a cycle that leads to even more weakness. Robert, a 69-year-old retiree, experienced this himself. He loved gardening but gradually found standing for long periods tiring. He spent less time outside and felt discouraged because he was losing an activity he enjoyed. Like many people, he thought it was simply aging. However, mobility specialists often explain that reduced muscle activation plays a major role. Another common cause is spending too much time sitting. Studies have found that prolonged sitting can make important leg muscles less responsive, which may explain why some people feel weak when they stand up. Difficulty climbing stairs is another common symptom. Many people begin avoiding stairs, looking for elevators, or worrying about visiting unfamiliar places. Often, the hidden cause is weakness in muscles that support the knees and hips. Balance changes can also appear. You may not feel like you're going to fall, but you notice you're not as steady as before. Experts say balance depends on strong, responsive muscles. When those muscles become less active, stability suffers. The good news is that muscles can respond at any age when activated consistently. Even after 50, 60, or 70, improvement is possible. That's why many mobility specialists recommend isometric exercises. These exercises activate important leg muscles without requiring large movements, making them a practical option for many older adults. The 6 isometric moves we're about to discuss target key muscles used for standing, walking, climbing stairs, and maintaining balance. And the first one focuses on a problem that millions of adults experience every day, but often blame on aging alone. Have you ever found yourself pushing off your knees or a chair just to stand up? Many adults over 50 notice this, and while it may seem normal, it often signals reduced activation in the quadriceps, the thigh muscles that help you stand, climb stairs, and support your knees. If ignored, everyday movements can become harder and confidence may decline. The first isometric move is the seated thigh squeeze. Sit upright, tighten the muscles on the front of your thighs, hold for 10 to 15 seconds, then relax. This helps reactivate important muscles used for standing and stair climbing, making daily movement easier and more confident. Another common problem is feeling less stable while walking through a store or parking lot. This can make you more cautious and less confident. The hidden cause is often weak glute muscles, which play a major role in balance and walking. The second move is the glute squeeze. While sitting or standing, tighten your buttock muscles and hold for 10 to 15 seconds. This helps improve stability, balance, and walking confidence. Many adults also notice their legs getting tired during short walks. This can lead to avoiding activities they once enjoyed. Often, underactive calf muscles are part of the problem because they help push the body forward while walking. The third move is the seated calf press. Press the balls of your feet firmly into the floor and hold for 10 to 15 seconds. This activates the calf muscles and may help make walking feel easier and more efficient. Another symptom is feeling unsteady when turning or moving sideways. This often causes hesitation and fear of losing balance. The hidden cause may be weak inner thigh muscles that help control lower body stability. The fourth move is the inner thigh squeeze. Place a pillow between your knees and gently squeeze for 10 to 15 seconds. This helps improve coordination and stability during daily activities. If you've had a stumble or near fall, you may notice your confidence dropping even if you weren't injured. Reduced muscle activation and poor stability often contribute to this problem. The fifth move is the standing wall push. Stand with your back against the wall, tighten your thighs and glutes, and hold for 10 to 15 seconds. This helps multiple muscle groups work together to improve stability and balance. Finally, many adults find their legs tire more quickly than before. This is often due to reduced muscular endurance, making simple tasks feel more demanding over time. The sixth move is the seated leg extension hold. Sit upright, extend one leg until nearly straight. Tighten the thigh and hold for 10 to 15 seconds before switching sides. This helps improve endurance, muscle activation, and support for everyday movement. The best part about these 6 isometric exercises is that they require no jumping, no heavy equipment, and very little space. Yet they target key muscles that support strength, balance, mobility, and independence after 50. One thing that surprises many adults is that maintaining stronger legs after 50 usually has less to do with intensity and more to do with consistency. Many people assume they need long workouts, complicated routines, or expensive equipment. But mobility specialists frequently observe that small actions performed regularly often produce better long-term results than occasional bursts of intense exercise. The symptom many adults experience is frustration. They try something for a few days, don't notice immediate changes, and assume it isn't working. The emotional impact can be discouraging. People begin believing their legs are simply destined to get weaker with age, and may stop trying altogether. But the hidden cause is often unrealistic expectations. Research suggests that muscles adapt gradually. Improvements in strength, activation, balance, and endurance typically happen over weeks and months, not days. If people quit too early, they never give their bodies the opportunity to respond. The solution is consistency. Even a few minutes of focused muscle activation each day can be more valuable than doing nothing for weeks and then attempting an intense workout. The benefit is that small efforts become meaningful improvements over time. Another important discovery involves sitting. Earlier, we mentioned an everyday habit that may quietly contribute to weaker legs. For many adults, that habit is spending long periods sitting without interruption. The symptom may appear as stiffness when standing, slower walking, or legs that feel weak after getting up from a chair. The emotional impact is often subtle. People feel less capable, less energetic, and less confident in their movement. The hidden cause is reduced muscle activation. When muscles remain inactive for long periods, they receive fewer opportunities to perform the work they were designed to do. The consequence is that mobility gradually becomes more challenging. The solution is simple. Whenever possible, break up long periods of sitting. Stand up, walk around the room, stretch your legs. Give your muscles regular opportunities to activate throughout the day. The benefit is improved movement, better muscle engagement, and support for long-term mobility. Frank, a 74-year-old retiree, learned this lesson firsthand. He wasn't trying to become an athlete. He simply wanted to continue enjoying everyday life without constantly worrying about his legs. For years, he assumed weakness was an unavoidable part of aging. Then he started making small changes. He practiced a few isometric exercises each day. He stood up more often. He became more consistent. The emotional difference was noticeable before the physical difference. He felt more confident, more willing to stay active, more optimistic about his future mobility. Over time, he noticed daily tasks felt easier. But what mattered most wasn't the improvement itself. It was regaining trust in his body. And that's an important lesson for anyone watching. The goal isn't perfection. The goal isn't competing with younger versions of yourself. The goal is maintaining the ability to do the things that matter most to you. Walking comfortably, climbing stairs with confidence, traveling, spending time with family, remaining independent. The 6 isometric moves we discussed today each address a common problem that affects adults over 50. The seated thigh squeeze helps activate muscles used for standing and stair climbing. The glute squeeze targets muscles that support balance and stability. The seated calf press activates muscles involved in walking efficiency. The inner thigh squeeze supports coordination and lower body control. The standing wall push helps multiple muscle groups work together. And the seated leg extension hold supports endurance and muscle activation. Individually, each exercise is simple. Together, they create an approach focused on maintaining strength, confidence, balance, and independence. If you found this helpful, consider liking the video, subscribing to the channel, and sharing it with someone who may benefit from these simple strategies. Most importantly, remember this: you do not need perfect legs. You do not need perfect health. You simply need to keep giving your body reasons to stay active, strong, and engaged. Small daily actions often lead to meaningful improvements over time.